Hello, this is Ertan Taskin from Ozone Engineering, and in this video I will be demonstrating the benefits of using CFturbo for turbomachinery design. When you open the CFturbo, you will see the screen in front of you. As you see, there are multiple options for us to select. We can work on the pumps, fans, compressor, gas turbine, hydro turbine, etc. In this particular example, we will work with a fan application. So when I click the fan, I am asked few questions about the operating conditions. So this is a very critical step because the type of the fan, or in case of pump, they're same. It's going to be decided by the software accordingly, from centrifugal to the axial all the way, and we're going to explore right now. Let's start with some generic operating conditions. Let's assume I'm going to use 5 meter cube per minute volumetric flow, and let's say a very low pressure generation of 0.3 inch water with an operating speed of 3,500 RPM. So when I enter these, as you see, the software describes the type of the fan as axial. Let's assume we're not planning to do an axial. And by the way, you can also see the specific speed, and higher the specific speed, of course, the type of the device changes from centrifugal to the axial. So manipulating or playing with all these numbers is going to change, of course, the specific speed as well as accordingly the type. So let's explore what happens if I change the pressure generation. Let's say I want to actually generate a bit more pressure. And as you see, from axial to the mixed flow condition, I came from this change. And if I make this 2, it continues to go to the centrifugal side, and as you see, it's actually more of a centrifugal type right now, with a specific speed of 36.2. So CFturbo works on a specific speed range. So lower specific speeds are not really preferred. That's why it is better to tailor the operating conditions accordingly, so that the software is going to be helpful for us. Let's click OK on this. With that, a new screen opens, and in the screen we're going to select what we want to do. We can actually perform the new impeller design. Apparently the settings demonstrated that we have to use the centrifugal impeller design, or in the existing section here, it's actually a very good opportunity to import already available geometry if we have something available for the reverse engineering purposes, utilizing the CAD file to initiate a CFturbo model. But in this example, we will design the impeller. So let's click the new centrifugal impeller. On the screen, there are some additional parameter settings and dimensions are provided here. I will not make any modification, but I'm going to let the software decide all the others based on the initial settings that we have, such as the impeller diameter, suction diameter, etc. Right? So I'm going to come here and click this complete all design steps button. And with that, we have our initial design on the Meridional screen shown here. If I click on the 3D model, now you will see the impeller blades as well as the hub and the shroud design for this particular case. So let's let's examine other features here. So in this view, in the Meridian view, we have the shroud geometry, we have the hub geometry, the inlet region and outlet region, and this particular one is the impeller. So we can go the design steps one by one to explore other features, such as I can make the design shrouded or unshrouded. In this case, initially it was unshrouded. So let's assume it was shrouded. I'm sorry. Let's assume we have an unshrouded design, which means there is a clearance between the blade tip and the shroud. So when I click OK, on the 3D model, you will see we have a tiny little gap, which we described it, so we can definitely change it, between the blade tip and the shroud surface. Okay. What else we can do? We can actually introduce a hub, a cylindrical hub diameter, or the structure. So let's assume I want to perform the 20 millimeter diameter cylindrical hub, and of course, in this case, what you have noticed, the shape of the hub is different. This offset is actually what I have what is provided by me. And if you want to see, since we have a error we cannot see in the 3D model, but now we're going to play with the, yeah, that's the reason we have to play with the features. It's actually very easy to drag and drop type of operation, as you see. Either we can eyeball it, or what we can do is actually take a look at the numbers and then actually put the corresponding numbers here, such as 10 here, so that's actually fully straight. This would be, let's say, 47 millimeter, and let's make the same thing on here, 47 millimeters, so it's actually perfectly straight. Okay. See, we have created a hub, a cylindrical hub at the center, and the blades are actually far away from that. We can definitely make a modification on that too. So let's get to the meridional contour again and make a change on the leading edge. So this is the leading edge. This is the trailing edge. So let's play with this. So I can actually play with these Bezier nodes here to drag and drop and change the profile based on whatever I want, whatever makes sense for my application. Let's see how the things are. Now we change the impeller design accordingly. On the 3D design, you see how it is actually modified. Furthermore, we can actually check the angles, blade angles, and we can include number of spans. Number of spans is actually 2 in this case, which means one setting is actually on the hub location, a cross section of the blade. One is actually very close to the shroud. So we can manipulate the blade profiles from these 2 locations. But if we want to make actually twisted and curved blades, we should include other spans. Let's assume I want to have 5 spans. So which means I'm dividing the blade into 5 different locations so that at each line I can change the profile of the blade for however I would like to do. On the 3D model, you will see all these profile locations are set. Similarly, if I want to change the design blade lines, these are the lines that we created already. The leading edge region, the trailing edge region, with all these different spans. Since we let the software decide on the blade profile, currently it is locked. We are not we're not able to modify them on the screen. But of course we can go back and change, and then we can make our own blade profiles accordingly. But let's assume this blade design is good for us. And but do we know how good is this, right? So it's actually fairly easy to again go to the performance prediction. Now, you know that we already specified the operating conditions, the best operating condition, right? And this is actually corresponding HQ curve. This is the head column, and this is the flow column, and this is the corresponding characteristic curve for that particular speed. And if you hover over it, you can actually see on this portion of the plot, you can see the corresponding pressure differential for that corresponding flow condition, right? And you may also want to add additional speeds. So let's get to here. We can either add all these preset speeds, or we can actually change that to some round numbers. And let me include that in. So this is actually 2500 RPM HQ curve. Let's make this 3000. So at 500 RPM intervals, we're going to have our HQ curve listed. Similarly, 4000. There we go. This is the 4000 curve. And let's say this is 5000. I'm sorry, 4500. Okay. There you go. So it's actually very useful tool. So we have all the characteristic curves of this pump, and based on all these curves, and if we are happy with this design, and there you go, we are done with it. So let's assume this design is pretty good. But before doing anything else, let's pay attention to these warnings here. So if you click on these warnings, actually a new screen opens us just to tell us what should we do about that. What is that, for example, this error is, or warning, and how can we get rid of this problem? So ds over d2 requires delta h equals 0 is the warning that we have. And now it's telling us that let's select different parameters in the calculation of suction diameter. So that means we should be going to the screen and changing this one. This was the problem here. This should be 0 based on I'm sorry, this should be some other parameter. Let's say relative inlet flow angle. Let's see if this is gonna work for us. Yes. For the other problems that we have here, let's try to play with the number of blades and see if that's gonna help us. Let's get here. Now, originally we have 7 number of blades. Let's assume we want to have more blades and see the impact of that. And as you see, that warning is already eliminated. Let's see how the three-dimensional model looks with these modifications. Yes. Also, let's check the performance prediction curves. Yes, with the new additions, believe the curves are slightly different than what we have. And again, if we hover, we're going to definitely see how much of a pressure that we can generate at this specific particular speed and at that particular flow condition. One final thing that we may want to have is we can export this to the any CAD format, as well as to the other ANSYS tools for the further processing. We can definitely bring this to a CFD solver, creating the mesh and then solving it, and that's going to be a separate video to demonstrate the details of this. So in this video, we tried to demonstrate the benefits of using CFturbo for the turbomachinery design. Thank you for watching.